Welcome back to my channel. This is Genevieve Stafford Jack, and today we tackle the subject of joint ventures in property investing. When we get together, what should it look like? It literally looks like skill and deal, join, and there's mutual benefits. That's really just the sum total of what a joint venture in property investing will look like. You see, what I found interesting in joint ventures is that is the first creative finance strategy that my husband and I used when we got into property investing. We started in lots and lots of debt, so therefore needed to go with the creative finance because we were not able to get any sort of loans or anything like that from the banks or any financial institution because we were overextended on loans. And I recall the day when TJ was going through with the deal, and it was a 2-bed, 1-bath in Kempton Park. The opportunity was 160,000. It required a deposit. All the numbers and due diligence that we'd done to this point was on point. Every step of the way, we contacted Andrew, who was our coach at that time. And Andrew was quite encouraging, and he literally would share with us each step of the way what we needed to do. There came a day when Jacques, the real estate agent for that particular property, said, okay, cool, now we're signing the offer to purchase. We need a deposit. So we hadn't found the investor as yet. And so we said, okay, cool, all we have is 1,000 rand. And Andrew said, tell him that. And put the 1,000 rand down because they do not dictate how much of a deposit. And so in this joint venture, or soon to be joint venture, we put this 1,000 down as a deposit, and sure enough, they took it. And we thought, now we need the person that's going to come into this deal with the other 159,000. And fortunately, Andrew had a student who was also looking for a deal, and this is when we crossed paths. And so TJ and Mark went to meet each other. And this is the other things that I want to share about property investing, specifically in joint ventures. When it comes to joint ventures, it's simple to say skill meets money. It's simple to say there's mutual benefits. However, I find that joint ventures are a little bit more intricate than that. In a joint venture, I almost believe it's like a marriage. You need to start understanding who you are in this particular deal with, right? Why? Because you are literally committing to time and energy into a deal, and you need to know who you are in these deals with. And Mark got to know TJ. We were amateurs. We just got into the game, right? And so we already thought at the first meeting, you're going to pitch your lungs out on why this deal is good. And all Mark wanted to know was, who are you? Where do you work? Tell me about your family, and things like that. And when TJ came home, I was bewildered. I said, you went to meet somebody who was an investor looking for a deal, and you were talking about your family. How does that work, right? So I got curious. We delved more into joint ventures. TJ's feet were itchy because like our names are down somewhere, right? And we know we can't fulfill that particular commitment. And fortunately, we've got exit strategies in place in the form of suspensive conditions, but still, you don't get this point to pull out, right? And so the second thing that we also learned about joint ventures is this. When you get into the joint venture, you agree on who is doing what. Just like any other partnership, you need to understand who is doing what. You need to understand the time frames that these things need to happen. And you also need to understand the repercussions if it has not happened. Because think about this. You could be wasting your time, and the person you're going to a joint venture with could be wasting their money. Why waste anything when all you can do is make something beautiful? I want you to go in firstly with the contract. Make sure that you put a contract together. But before you actually sit and go and start talking about a contract, here are the things that you need to consider. When you go into the deal, what is your roles and responsibility? What could break the deal? What are your exit strategies from this? If a bus says to hit you tomorrow, and then what? Right? Because at the end of the day, something happens to one person, the other person could say, oh, this is what we agreed on. And if it was verbal, there's no way of confirmation. So I want you to consider, before going into a joint venture, all the things of if this has to happen and then what, right? So have your entry criteria and have your exit criteria. Be careful not to overthink the process, but just have that conversation with the person you're going in a joint venture with so that you can literally put a contract together so that the two of you or the four of you or however many in this joint venture is together, you sign on the dotted line, ensuring that you make a commitment. One other thing that I learned from joint ventures, not particularly from the first deal, but from other deals that I've done. Be very, 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 very clear about your strategy. Okay? In your contract, put down what your strategy is and what your exit strategies are and what order. And this is why I say this. Because all of a sudden something favorable happens and it's favorable only for one party. It's easy to change your mind because you think there's cha-ching involved, right? More money involved. But what happens is you change your mind, things go south, and then what? So you need to be able to make sure that you covered your back and ensure that you also cover your joint venture partner's back as well. So I trust that this video has been good. And if you like this video, I would like to welcome you to subscribe. Come into the family where we learn in short videos more about property investing education. And if you haven't already, go into the description. There is free property training on my website. Simply click on the link where it says free investment training, and there's over 3 hours of content where you'll be able to start understanding, do you buy your property investments with a trust in a company in your personal capacity, where you can also learn how to find deals, do your due diligence, understand negotiation, understand the difference between passive and active income, and what the deal life cycle looks like. So I trust that this has been great to you. I look forward to serving you in the next episode. Take good care.